You little cute boy. Yes, you are.
Come here, boy. Pet.
Robo puppy receiving petting.
Alright, boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day. Okay, today, boys, I want to talk about the games I played in... forgotten the month of the year now. September. Yeah, the games I played in September. I don't know what happened there. I just had a mind... yeah, okay. So yeah, in terms of the games I played this month, guys, I've been playing a lot of stuff, as always. I've been playing some Silent Hill stuff for an upcoming Silent Hill video. I've been playing the Killzone games. That was an absolute blast. But I still, of course, had time to play some extras as well, guys. And on the whole, I will admit, a bit of a mixed experience this month, okay? There's a couple of games in here that were a bit of a negative experience. There's definitely some good ones in here as well, guys. But yeah, a bit of a mixed bag. It wasn't all bangers this month. So I think we'll start off with a negative one, guys, and then we can get onto the more positive experiences. Okay, my first game that was a negative experience was Sega Soccer Slam for the PS2. Now, I picked this game up, guys, in a recent game hunting video, okay, and I was super looking forward to playing this one. I was just hyped for it. No idea what it is. I obviously know it's about football, but I didn't know what kind of the gameplay it was going to have. I just went in completely blind. I just thought it looked cool and it was cheap. So I popped this one into the PS2, guys, start playing it, super pumped and excited to see what this game is about, and the game crashed on me. I was smoking my opponent pretty comfortably, okay, I was winning very easily, and I was about 3 or 4-0 up, and then as my players were celebrating for a goal, the game just froze. Like, they just froze in place. I did film it with my phone, so you guys are probably seeing some footage now of just, I just quickly shot it on my phone just to show you guys exactly how they froze, but they were celebrating, and then they just didn't move after that. So I was like, disappointed, obviously. I'm like, my game's just froze, but it's not the end of the world. I take the disc out, put it in again. Same thing happens again, guys. I get into another game, I go 2-3-0 up, whatever the score was, and then it froze again. So I'm like, okay, I've obviously got a dodgy copy here. So I go for the old method, guys. It always works, okay? This method just works every single time for games that have got scratches. It's never, ever failed me. When my Crash Bandicoot 3 on PS1 wasn't working, this method saved that game. The method is a bit of Vaseline, smear it onto the disc, wipe it in, and then the game is as good as new. It works 9 times out of 10. The 1 out of 10 time it didn't work, though, guys. Sega Soccer Slam, it didn't work. I tried it, I thought it was going to fix it. It still froze on me. So basically, guys, I don't know if this game is good or not, because I haven't really had a chance to play it, because it's fucking broken. I wasted about an hour of my evening trying to get this bloody thing to work, because I wanted to play it, I was excited for it, and yeah, it just didn't work out. From the brief amount I played of it, it seemed like a pretty okay game, nothing too mind-blowing, but you kick a ball about, it seemed fun, but yeah, obviously I can't play the game if it's going to crash on me every single time I get into a match. So I'm going to take this one back to CEX, I'm going to get my money back. If they've got another copy of it, I'll grab it, but if not, I'll just put it towards something else. So yeah, very, very disappointed with that one. Alright, guys, this next one is definitely not a disappointment, okay? This was a fantastic experience, definitely the best game I played all month, and that is Sea of Stars for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the thing is with this game, guys, is I'm not really into RPGs. I've probably said it a million times on this channel by now, as you guys know, not really an RPG guy.
I mean, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here.
But the reason I wanted to check this game out is that one of my favorite YouTubers, Retro Ghetto, he was singing this game's praises. He was saying how good it is, and he's not really into RPGs either. So that made me think, well, it's got to be a good RPG if the non-RPG guy likes it, So I picked this game up from Game, okay? This was like £35 in there, so not the cheapest one, but, Nintendo Switch games, they do fetch for a fairly high price. I pick it up, and I was excited, so I just jumped straight in, guys. I didn't know anything about it. I went completely blindly, and I thought, you know what, an RPG, let's just go for it. And I ended up playing the entire thing, which even surprised me, because I don't usually play games for that long. I will play them for a good few hours, but usually I want to get them finished and be on to the next thing. This wasn't a short game, okay? This took at least, it must have been 20 something hours at least. I don't know exactly how long it was, but it certainly wasn't short. I was playing it for a long time. It took me about 3 weeks to finish it, and I was playing it a lot in those 3 weeks. But I just really enjoyed the game, guys. Again, I'm not really into RPGs that much, but this was fantastic, okay? Art style was beautiful, one of the best looking games I've ever seen on a Nintendo Switch, just fantastic visuals here. Soundtrack was so good, loved the music in this game. I've already been listening to, to the soundtrack, just, when I'm editing videos and stuff. Combat here is pretty decent, guys. I will admit it was a bit easier than I thought it'd be, because I'm not really into RPGs, but I seem to get through this game really easily. None of the bosses were all that hard. It was just a fairly easy game. game. So yeah, if you're a new like person to RPGs like I am, then this would probably be a good sort of starting point. If you're an RPG veteran, you probably find the combat here and the turn-based RPG mechanics super simplified. But yeah, I got it straight away and it was all very simple. However, there was one encounter early on in the game that I fucking hated, okay, and that's these like beetle guys. They would like constantly spawn new beetles, and I just did not know how to deal with these guys, alright? And they were driving me insane because they would just be in this endless loop of spawning new beetles, and it was just like, it would just go on forever. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? And in fact, I googled it. I was like, what do you do about these beetle guys? And I found like a blog post of someone that was experiencing the same thing, and the reply to it was something like, get good at the game, like you're just bad, it's a skill issue, something like that. That drove me fucking nuts, because the whole point of the person, you know, asking the damn question is because they've got the skill issue. Like, that's the point, alright? We know it's a skill issue. I knew it was a skill issue. I wanted to know the answer, and then I see that as the answer. It was, that annoyed me. But anyway, guys, I figured it out on my own. You basically want to use the Moonerang, okay, which is basically like this thing that you throw, and then you just keep bouncing it back and forth on enemies, and you can just do that forever if you're good enough with the timing. The Moonerang was just super overpowered throughout the entire game, so I used the crap out of it, and it helped me through this like really tough encounter. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really have any big struggle moments with the game, which was surprising. I thought I was going to really have to struggle through it, because again, I'm not really into RPGs, but no, surprisingly quite easy. Another thing that was really great about this game, guys, was the fishing, okay? The fishing in this game was a simple little mini game, but it was so calming and relaxing. The music was hitting right, and it was just such a beautiful vibe. I really enjoyed fishing in this game. I just felt like I could shut my brain off and, you know, collect fish. I don't know, it was just a nice, calm and chill thing about this game I really liked. In terms of my critiques with this game, guys, I don't have a lot, but my main critique with this game is the characters, okay? Now, not all the characters, alright? Some of the characters in this game are absolutely fantastic, okay? Garl, for example, amazing character. He's always so happy and chirpy. I really liked Garl. He was such a great character, alright? So there's definitely some good ones in there. Rashawn as well, he was a good character, but then sort of towards the end of the game, he decides to bugger off for some reason, which is weird, and he comes back at the end of the game. That was a bit weird, but he was a good character. Sarai was a good character. In fact, my main problem is the main characters, okay? Valir and Zale were pretty dull main characters. Like, they just didn't have a lot to them.
Hello, could you keep it down? I'm trying to be boring.
Considering they're like the main characters you're following, they just had zero personality. They just, I don't know, they were just really mid. Alright, so I was a bit disappointed with those two characters. And also, speaking of characters and Garl and how amazing he is, this is going to be a spoiler, so if you want to play this game, I thoroughly recommend it, but skip to the next game if you don't want this game spoiled. But yeah, Garl dies in this game. Alright, and that was incredibly sad, alright? It was just, I wasn't happy about it. When he dies, there's just a big void within the group, because you don't have that happy, chirpy, optimistic lad within the group. There's no one really in there that fills the void of the group, and it just feels like the entire group lacks that personality. But it turns out you can actually resurrect him in this, like, true ending, but I just feel like that was pretty lame, because in order to get the true ending, you have to collect these, I can't remember what it was now that you had to collect. It was like these rainbow conches, I think, so it basically just makes the game way longer to get the true ending, and I just felt like it was kind of lame that you kill off the best character in the whole game, and the only way you can bring him back is by playing the game for another, I don't know, 10 hours or so, or however long it is. I don't know, I just thought it was a bit underwhelming, and I looked at the true ending to find out if it's even worth my trouble, and he comes at like the end, and there's like a little moment that's cool, and that's it. Like, it just really wasn't worth it. So yeah, I was a little bit sort of hit and miss with the characters here. Like I said, Garl, great character, loved him, and some of the other side characters, fantastic, but the main problem being the main protagonists here, they just were a bit disappointing. On the whole though, guys, I enjoyed the game. It was really fun to play, great vibe, great art style, and if you're into RPGs, this is a good one you need to check out. Okay guys, the next game I'm going to talk about is going to be the Klonoa remake, okay? This is a remake of Klonoa 1 and 2, the first one being on the PS1, and then the second one being on the PS2. I didn't play through Klonoa 2, I only had time for the first one. I was playing this game on my PlayStation Portal, which I recently picked up. Really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with the PlayStation Portal and playing this game. It was really fun. I will say we didn't get off to the best start with the PlayStation Portal. It was really laggy when I first started using it and I was playing this game, and it just wasn't a great experience at first, but then I bought this like Wi-Fi extender, and that improved it dramatically. Like, I could actually use the PlayStation Portal properly. It wasn't as laggy as before. Still a little bit laggy, but I could at least play the damn thing. But after a couple of weeks of using it, guys, I figured out how to have a flawless PlayStation Portal experience, okay? So the Wi-Fi extender helped big time, but the thing that made it completely amazing is I figured out that using the internet at the same time as the PlayStation Portal just makes it like a bit laggy. So basically I'll watch YouTube videos on in the background whilst playing certain games. If it's not like super story driven, I don't have to be concentrating. So a game like Klonoa, I'll be watching YouTube in the background, but I was playing it without YouTube in the background and it was a smooth and buttery experience. It was playing really well. So I was like, oh shit, maybe if I stop watching YouTube, the PlayStation Portal will work flawlessly, and that was exactly correct. So I stopped watching YouTube and would just play the Portal, and it worked really well. What I did instead is I actually grabbed some DVDs. I've got a DVD shelf full of DVDs that I just don't watch nearly enough. I was going through and I was like, you know what, Futurama, haven't watched that in a while, so I put in a season of Futurama and started playing this game, and it was a great time. I just had that on in the background and playing Klonoa on the PlayStation Portal. Really fun time, and I had a really good experience after that. It wasn't laggy, it wasn't, you know, choppy. It was a nice buttery smooth experience. In terms of Klonoa itself, guys, obviously we're talking about the Portal, but the actual game itself, Klonoa, is a fun little platformer, okay? Is it the greatest platformer I've ever played? No, there's better out there, but it's fun and it's certainly unique, okay? The art style here is definitely different. It just looks and plays very strangely. It's kind of like a 3D platformer, but it plays like a 2D platformer, so that's already kind of weird. Just again, aesthetically, it's a different kind of platformer. It just has a, I don't know, a bit of a vibe to it. It's not like your casual Marios and things like that. You grab enemies and they turn into these like balls for some reason, and then you can either throw them at other enemies or you can use them to get to higher heights. It's definitely a weird platformer. A lot of boss battles in this game as well. There's a fuck ton of bosses. There's like a boss every 2 levels. None of them are like seriously difficult, but a couple of them, you know, made me die a couple times. The entire experience was just a fun little platformer, okay? It wasn't too ridiculous. It was just an overall very fun time, except for one level. There's one level in particular. It was level 6-2. Absolutely awful level. Like, it made me want to fucking... It was basically the equivalent of getting your ballsack and running it through a cheese grater.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Not fun at all. I hate that level. Fuck that level. Just honestly, it was such a shit crap level. It really frustrated me because there's some platforming sections in that level that are just so hard and annoyingly difficult. I don't know. That annoyed me. Honestly, that entire level annoyed me. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about too. You've experienced it as well, because I looked on YouTube on you know, and on the walkthrough, and everyone in the comments says the same thing. They hate that level. So yeah, every other level is fun except for that one. But on the whole, guys, Klonoa, really fun game, and I'm looking forward to playing the sequel. Okay, guys, I've got 2 games left to talk about. One of them was a really good game I really enjoyed, but the one we'll talk about next is a game that I found a bit disappointing, okay, and that is Facebreaker for the PS3. Now, I know what you're thinking, alright, like, this game, you know, it's shit. Like, that's why I'm disappointed, because it's a shit game. Honestly, guys, it's not a shit game. It's actually quite fun. I really quite enjoyed the gameplay here. And it's a very arcade style, you know, boxing game, and I really like boxing games. I picked this up for £1.50 not that long ago. I talked about it in a recent video about the PS3. Yeah, I was looking forward to playing it, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I was getting into it. I was enjoying it. I was just playing the exhibition mode and, you know, just getting a hold of the mechanics and learning the game. I was like, okay, it's pretty fun, actually. You know, I was enjoying myself, alright? Now, the problem with this game, guys, is there's just nothing to fucking do in the entire game. Like, there's literally nothing to this game. You pretty much have the exhibition mode, so you can do 1v1 fights, and that's all fun and good, but obviously that gets boring after a while. And then you've got this, like, career mode. It's called Brawl for It All or something like that, and basically you have to, like, fight your way up to the champion, and there's like 4 or 5 different stages, and each time it gets a bit harder. The problem with the mode, though, and it's an alright mode, you know, it's standard, but it's alright, it's good fun. The problem with the mode is that it's just insanely fucking difficult, like really hard. There's a genuine skill gap to this game. It's a real tough game to, like, really master. I was expecting this, like, mindless sort of boxing game where you just spam a bunch of buttons and it's all well and dandy, but honestly, guys, this game is a lot deeper than it might seem, okay? This game's mechanics are actually quite hard to master. There's a parrying system that's quite hard to do, or at least to, you know, to do properly. The way that you block and fight, it's just a really quite complex game, considering, you know, it's, I mean, look at it. You don't expect it, do you? On the exhibition mode, it's not really a problem, because the difficulty settings, you can have easy mode, medium mode, hard mode, whatever, you know, you can set the difficulty. But in the Brawl for It All mode, the easiest difficulty you can pick pick is called Fierce Mode, which I'm guessing is at least sort of the medium difficulty. So the game is just balls hard on this Brawl for It All mode.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more.
I was progressing through it, you know, I was struggling a bit, but, you know, I was getting through it because I'd spent some time to learn the mechanics. But then I got up to Voodoo, and Voodoo took me fucking out, like, literally over an hour to beat this guy. It was driving me nuts. He's just insanely overpowered. He was really frustrating to fight, and honestly, I just was like, I felt like giving up on the game, but I did eventually beat him, and I felt so good about it. But this isn't like, you know, you think he's like the final boss with how hard he is. He's not the final boss. He's only like the sort of mid-stage boss, so it gets harder, obviously, and you go through it more, and I got like maybe a couple more fights in, and I got stuck again, and it just, yeah, it just wasn't worth the time investment, guys. I actually enjoyed the gameplay here. It's actually a fun game, but yeah, there's just nothing to do on it except exhibition in the career mode, and they for some reason made that career mode the most hardest, most difficult thing ever. So you're basically, you know, stuck playing the exhibition mode if you can't progress through the career. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, there's just nothing else to do on the whole game, and that's probably why they made the career mode so fucking difficult, is because it was so limited with what they had here to offer that they thought, well, we'll keep them on that mode, you know, because it's just hard. I don't know, it just annoyed me. I was disappointed as hell with this game because it wasn't the actual gameplay that disappointed me, it was the lack of content and the difficult career mode. This game could have quite easily, with a little bit more effort, been a fun little arcade boxing game. But yeah, on the whole, it disappointed me because, again, well, we've been through it. But yeah, disappointing. Okay, guys, the final game of the video is going to be Redeemer for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I talked about this game in a game hunt video. I picked this one up. It was a recent pickup. This is a game that my older brother has been recommending to me. He's always been saying how good this game is, that I need to buy it if I ever see it, but it's just one that I've struggled to see. Like, I just never seen it about until one day where I did finally see it, and I was like, yep, I'm getting that game, because my brother would kill me if I didn't buy it. In this game, you just go around and you basically just kill everybody, okay? The story is there, but who gives a shit, alright? I don't care about the story in a game like this. You go around, you pick up different melee weapons or different guns, and you just kill everyone, alright? The game is brutal, the game is gory, and it's fun as shit, and I love these types of games. Games like, I don't know, Hotline Miami, where you go into a room and you kill everyone and they drop a different weapon and you can pick up that weapon to kill the next person. You just go from room to room, just killing everyone in sight. I love those types of games, and that game fits into that into that category. This is not the type of game that requires a ton of thought. Not that it's like the easiest game ever. There's definitely a few challenging sections because some of the enemies can be pretty tough. But yeah, it's just a game that you literally kill everyone. Like, there's nothing to process here. It's just fun, a murder simulator.
I'm touching myself tonight.
As you're playing the game, you can make upgrades, okay? It's a very simple upgrade system, but I like my upgrade system simple. I hate it when they overcomplicate shit. And honestly, guys, there's not really a lot to analyze with this one, okay? It's an incredibly simple and fun game. If I had one critique with it, it's that they tried to throw in these sections where there's like a bunch of electric floors and you've got to work your way through the floor. They were just annoying. I died on them a few times. It did my head in a little bit. That aside, though, just a fun shooting game / beat 'em up game. You know, you just go around and kill people. It's fun. Alright, that's what I need in a video game sometimes. It's mindless fun. That's exactly what this was. Okay, guys, so that is everything I played this month, excluding the stuff that I'm already going to be doing videos on. Like I said, bit of a mixed bag here, because Facebreakers and Sega Soccer Slam were disappointing, but the other 3 games were good, so I did enjoy my time overall. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what games you've been playing this month. Other than that, though, boys, subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, peace.